What's good, Josh Agamakai? Welcome back to my channel. Although he only played 36 games this season, Lamelo Ball still showed a lot of the signs that you want to see from a future star. He made jumps as a scorer, he improved his assist averages this season, and he also just showed that he's just a wildly talented shooter with just insane touch. So these are some of the clips that I pulled together to just to show you the kind of growth that he made as a player and just the wildly, talented things that he does. On this play, we see Melo sizing up his defender, and here we're just going to see him pull from very deep, and we see how comfortable he is pulling from this deep. No problem, just knocks the 3-ball down. And this just shows up the great range that he has, the great touch, really great stuff right there. Here on this play, once again, we're going to see him cross over, really sharp handle, and then just kind of keep the ball low so nobody can knock it away, and then bring it up as soon as you're going up for the layup. Really great finishing chops right here. Great stuff from Lamelo Ball. On this play right here, once again, we're going to see Lamelo and just look at where he's pulling from at the freezer for y'all. He's pulling from so far, multiple steps behind the 3-point line. And it just shows up the range and just the freedom that he can just, play with. On this play right here, he's going to be breaking down his man. And then look at how high he can get this floater up with just one hand. And it's kind of an underhand scoop floater type thing. Really just shows up the great touch that he has. And that's why I say he's just a, really gifted player. Once again, pulling from very, very far. Just the range he has, just the touch he has. The reason I say he's a really gifted player is because it's rare that somebody can just come into the league with this level of touch. This is usually something you have to work on, but for him to just be, explode into the league like this, here we see him attack Jokic in the pick and roll and then finish the layup on the other side of the basket. On this play right here, we're going to see him cross over Boyan and then just kind of finish through the contact with an underhand layup. And just what a strong handler that he has. Really sharp moves. On this play right here, he uses a lot of hesitation to get to where he's going. Here he hesitates. Once again, with his offhand, he's ambidextrous finishing. Really great finish right there. Once again with the high floater. Great stuff. On this play right here, it's going to be Melo. And once again, look at how far he's pulling from. This is, near the logo, and he's able to knock it down. And he doesn't even jump really high. He doesn't have to use a lot of strength. He just has the natural, wrist flick. And on this play right here, this is something you see a lot from him. He always gets into the floater. He always is able to, kind of not. He doesn't really like to take those mid-range shots a lot. He usually gets to the floater. But, he has such great touch that the floater is such a viable option for him in that, in-between area. And then on this play, we just see him. He's comfortable also shooting the 3 off the dribble, leaning to the side, leaning to the left, leaning to the right. On this play right here, we see him kind of split. And sometimes he can get to the mid-range pull-up. And this is something that this is a shot that I think he should take a lot more. And this play right here, we're going to see him kind of drive in. And then just look at the little Euro and then finish with his left hand. He's good at evading contact. He's really good, really crafty, really acrobatic finishing. On this play right here, breaking down his man once again. They kind of, mess up the screen coverage, and then he's able to just knock down the 3 out of the pick and roll. He's a really elite pick and roll guard, I would say, both scoring and playmaker-wise. Here, a little jump stop into the floater, so he doesn't have to go into any contact. Well, eventually he does, but... And then here we see him, catch a shot, a 3-point moving 3. Shows that, he has some chops off the ball as well. And on this play right here, he's going to attack the closeout, but then he just runs to the side for a corner 3. Just really shows off the touch and just how comfortable he is shooting 3-ball off the dribble. Here he splits defenders, shows the ball, and then finishes on the other side, underhand. Just what can I say about Lamelo? Really special player, really special, touch. Like, the touch is what really stands out. Once again, they mess up on the pick and roll coverage. He's able to knock down that 3. On this play right here, Dylan Brooks, a premier defender, and he's just going to hit him with a little behind the back, step back, knock down the 3. It's all net. Great stuff right there. And he's just really good at just using his handle to break people down. I wouldn't say Lamelo is a slow player. Look at the touch on that shot. He's going to the other side. He's just leaning, and then just on one foot, he just throws it up there. Great stuff right there from Melo. Here he breaks down his man, and look at the acrobaticness on the layup right there. I don't know if that's a word, but just look at the layup right there. Great stuff from Lamelo. Here we see Lamelo in transition. One crossover, and here he is. He's free to go to the rim. Great stuff right there. On this play right here, rejects the screen, tries to, make a pass, get an assist, but no. And once again, another deep 3. Great stuff right there. And if you'll notice in these clips that Lamelo's jump shot kind of changes from whether he's, standing still or something. Look at the ball fake right there to free himself up for the layup. That's goaltending, that counts. But yeah, if you'll notice, Lamelo is not, the fastest player in the world, but he uses a lot of hesitations, a lot of head fakes, uses his handle to kind of navigate the floor. And, to have such great handles at this age, to have such great touch at this age, really great stuff. On this play right here, Lou Dort, once again, he messes up with the pick and roll coverage. He just stops and pops. knockdown three. Lamelo takes 10 threes a game, and he's shooting about 38% from three. So we just see he's kind of a high volume 3-point shooter, but he's also an efficient 3-point shooter. But the problem with Lamelo's game is that he's not the most efficient in other areas, because, I feel like he has a lot of the pretty moves and a lot of, the crazy floaters, crazy acrobatic finishes. But I feel like sometimes he needs to, kind of simplify it a little bit, just kind of go strong to the hole, and he needs to get to the mid-range pull-up more, because out of pick and roll, he's really good at, running his man into the screener. He's really good at stopping whenever he wants. Here we see another floater from Lamelo, on the left wing, on the left corner, and just great stuff right there from Melo. And on this play right here, you just see the strong handle that he has, cross, and he's able to just get away to the rim. Strong finishes like that are what we need to see more from him. Just running right to the rim and just getting good stuff like that. Here we see the nice teardrop over Andre Drummond. Great stuff right there from Lamelo. What can you say? It just shows up a lot of the touch. And then on this play right here, it's going to be Melo. And just another step back three. Really comfortable getting his, own 3-point shot with the dribble. Step back, snatch backs, out of the pick and roll, pull-ups. Great stuff right there from Melo. Once again, he's on the logo this time. And you just see he's just so comfortable just launching that three. And he has the freedom to do so in this offense in Charlotte. He runs the offense in Charlotte. On this play, he has Jaden McDaniels on him. Once again, to, kind of not allow Rudy Gobert to help. He goes to the floater with his offhand, really high off the ground. Great stuff. Here it's a handoff to get him downhill, and he's able to finish with some contact. I feel like Charlotte should do a lot more of that, try and get him downhill, not just through pick and roll, but, kind of like that through handoffs. Great stuff. On this play right here, a little hesitation, stop. And look, he's just so great at, having counters, counters to, what the defense is throwing at him. Great spin move right there to free himself up for the layup. Great stuff. And then on this play right here, he's just running through a little head fake, and then he's able to just kind of sidestep and get to the floater. Like I said, uses a lot of hesitations to get to where he wants to on the court. Here, he's breaking down Kobe White, spin move, and even when he's stopped, he still has the touch and the focus and the control to finish off that play in the mid-range. Here, just another pull-up three. Great stuff from Melo right there. And then on this next play, it's gonna be Lamelo. And once again, that's too much space you're leaving him. He has no problem launching that three out of the pick and roll. Great stuff right there. On this play right here, Melo, he's gonna be going downhill, and then just another side step to get to the floater. Just great at just creating a little space like that. And once he kind of gets downhill into the paint, that's just kind of his range, and just he can get off, with any angle, any shot, he can just get off that crazy little floaters, that floater game that he has. And then on this play right here, just shows up some of the passing that he has. He looks one way, to kind of keep Austin Reeves engaged, and he's able to throw the lob. LaMelo Ball is one of the best passers in the NBA, I feel, and he just does it with a lot of manipulation. He makes really quick decisions. Here we're going to see him run a little pick and roll. As soon as it's open, bam, bounce pass. Just really quick decisions for such a young guy, and just really, fast velocity on his passes. Here we see beautiful touch on this pass. Half court loud to Mason Plumlee. Really great stuff right there. On this next play, it's going to be Melo. And here, we're going to see Dennis and Julia kind of run through stagger screens. He rejects the second screen. As soon as he's through, LaMelo's already getting ready to throw the pass. Perfect timing, quick decisions, just really great stuff that you want to see from, your point guard of the future. And then on this play right here, it's going to be Melo. And he's just breaking down his man. And then he just does a wraparound pass, one hand, right into the shooter's pocket. Melo's really good at that, hitting shooters right in the pocket, so all they got to do is just raise up after. Really great stuff from Melo right there. On this play right here, Melo is just going to jump, do a little jump step, and then in midair, pass it out. Once again, hitting the shooter right in the pocket. That's P.J. Washington. And then on this play right here, Melo rejects the screen, and then he can, he's really good at these disguise floaters. Because he has such a great floater game, sometimes he can turn those floaters into lobs, as we see him do right there. And then on this play right here, he's just running out, leaking out, and then he hits a cutter right in stride. Great stuff right there, kind of gnashing the baseline right there. Great stuff. And on this play right here, he's going to get a screen, stop, and then look, he's able to just whip a pass, cross court, skip pass, hit his man right in the pocket. Great stuff right there. On this play, we're going to see Lamelo, and he just hits a cutter right in stride. Great bounce pass to lead him to the rim. Great touch on the pass right there. And then we see Lamelo right here. Even off balance, he gets bumped. He just kind of whips it over his head, with one hand, and that frees up Mason Plumlee for the layup. Great stuff right there from Lamelo Ball. And this is just some of the creativity and just some of the stuff that he can just do with the ball that really makes you say, wow, like what a gifted guy. Here we see a little wraparound bounce pass. The thing is, he's not going to pass somebody and, you know, pass it to where they're at. He's going to pass it to where they need to be, pass it in front of them so that the advantage is not lost. This is really, you know, smart stuff from such a young guy. And then here, another pick and roll play. Great placement on the bounce pass that frees up PJ Washington to get the layup to go. Great stuff right here. And then here, Lamelo's going to split. And then he has Bruce Brown engaged because he's, you know, digging through the paint. And once again, he's able to hit PJ Washington in the corner. Great stuff right there. It's really important that Melo have, you know, floor spaces because if you're open, he's going to find you. On this play right here, we're going to see Melo. And then he just once again hits at the cutter in great stride. Kelly Oubre puts the ball in front of him so that he's able to, you know, free himself up for the wide open layup. And on this play, if there's any, you know, even a hint of a trap, he's just going to toss the ball, you know, immediately. And we see him do this with, you know, escape dribbles. We see him throw the ball kind of high. Somebody else can get it. Just great stuff. And then here, we're going to see Lamelo use a lot of manipulation. He faces if he's going up for the layup, and then bam, just behind the back pass. You know, he's really good at manipulating defenders because he's such a, you know, solid to good scorer. Great stuff right there from Lamelo. Here, he's running off the screen and getting downhill. And then he's able to do a wraparound pass with one hand right into the shooter's pocket. All PG has to do is just rise up for the three. Just the great ball placement, great ball velocity on these passes, and just a quick decision. Here, crosses his man over, rejects the screen. He has, you know, James Wiseman froze because he can go for that floater, and then that frees up his man for a wide open push shot right here for the layup. Great stuff right there from Lamelo, and this is the stuff you want to see from your point guard of the future. Here we see Lamelo in transition, and this is going to be just some wonderful placement on this lob right here. He keeps Zach LaVine engaged by, you know, keep dribbling the ball. Don't pick up a dribble too early. Great stuff right there from Melo. And on this play right here, we see Melo in transition once again. And because nobody is back yet, he's able to do that hit-ahead pass. He's always looking off the court or, you know, in transition. Here, as soon as PG steps over, the ball's out of Melo's hands. He slides over, bam, bounce pass. That frees up PJ Washington for the layup. Great stuff right there from Lamelo. And on this next play, it's going to be Lamelo. And they trapped him, a little escape dribble, and he tosses it right to Mason Plumlee. To trap Melo, he's not going to let you trap him. He's not going to let you, you know, try to force a turnover. He's going to get the ball right out of his hands. He's very unselfish. Here he is getting downhill. And look, he's able to throw a perfect lob with his left hand on the move. Just great stuff right there. Just extremely talented, extremely gifted type guy. And then here on this play, we see Lamelo, and he's just going to keep Miles Turner engaged. And he doesn't even look at who he's passing at. So there's some more of the manipulation, and then that frees up Mason Plumlee for the layup. So when I say Lamelo Ball is an extremely gifted player, just the, you know, the combination of the handle, the feel, the touch, just the touch on the floaters, just to be able to manipulate defenses like this, to read defenses like this, and to be doing all this as, you know, kind of a jumbo guard. I think he's like 6'6", 6'7". Lamelo averaged 23 points this season and 10.4 assists. And he shot, you know, like I said before, like 10 threes a game, shot at a great clip. But the thing about Lamelo that I want to see change is I want to see him kind of get more into traditional mid-range pull-ups because while he is really good at floaters, it's really hard to like make a living on that. So if he can just get into more of the, you know, traditional pull-up mid-ranges, I feel like that would help his scoring game out a lot. And like I showed y'all in the clips before, he's making a lot of the deep threes, you know, logo threes. I feel like if he could, you know, cut down on those, because I feel like he's really good at getting downhill. I'm not saying he should never take another, you know, deep logo three, because it's clear he has to touch for it. But sometimes those threes are just not what the team needs. And I just feel like, you know, sometimes he can just do better by just, you know, getting downhill more. But yeah, Lamelo Ball is just, you know, extremely elite player. He's going to be a great point guard for, you know, the next decade and change. And this is just, you know, some of the stuff that I found that showed off the, you know, great skill that he has. So if you stayed at the end of the video, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.